Guys, thanks for joining us here at Rock Hard Riffs. This is the guitar channel for the self-taught. In this episode, this is actually by request. A new subscriber asked about stretching strings and bending strings and timing and stuff like that. Speed. I'm imagining of like vibrato is what they're asking. So let's talk about that. Now, are there hard and fast rules? I hope not, because I've probably broken all of them. I'm going to show you one of my favorite stretches or bends, and that is with the B and the E string right here, and I do that with my third finger and my index finger, but I change as I go up. Okay, so about here I'm going to start switching to middle finger, right? So it's up to you. And down here I can, it's a pretty good stretch, but down here I have to move the pinky. And that gets pretty difficult. So again, hard and fast rules. Let's talk about that for a second. Okay, so again, as far as rules are bending the strings, there aren't really any rules, but there are guidelines and there are common practices. Now you're going to say, let's take our G string here. You see a lot of people, when they go to stretch it, they go up in that direction, okay? Pushing the finger up with the assistance of the other fingers, right? So again, using all the fingers to push up. So again, the most common practice is to push up that direction and with some assistance with the other fingers. Now, there are times you have no choice but to push up in that direction, say with like your B or your E string. You have no choice but to go in that direction, but the G string, you do have a choice. Now, let's think about it. When you fret your D string and you need to stretch it, do you go that way or this way? I'll bet you anything you go that way. How about your A string? Yeah, you know you go that way. And your E too. Well, why not the G? Is there some rule why not the G? That's how I do it. Let's speak anatomically. Your hand is stronger. I mean, look, your hand is made to grip, right? It's not that your hand can't forcefully open up. Of course it can, right? Especially with the help of other fingers, but your hand naturally comes to a grip. So, and then I just slightly turn my wrist, as you see that, as I grip the string, and I can pull that thing all the way off the fretboard if I want. So again, if you watched the video I did about Joe Walsh's Funk 49, I showed you to do it like this. Right? And so, again, most players are going to do it like this. But I go up in this direction. There's nothing wrong with that. Show me a rule. Show me a reason why that's bad. And then we'll discuss it. But if you're doing it with these strings, then why is it bad with the G string? Because it can still reach at least a whole step. And that's what the point of this next part is. Okay, stretching, how far to stretch, and that sort of thing. Okay, so let's take a half-step stretch. Well, first, what does a half-step sound like? Let's go to the G string here at the 5th fret, okay? Then fret at the 6th fret. So that's a half-step. So let's stretch to that half-step. Right there. So just get used to that distance. Now how about a whole step? So again, just know you'll feel it. You can feel it in your fingers, right? The distance. Now, I can do that with one finger. It's going to take you all three fingers to get going with the other. Pretty much all three fingers to push that up. So I can do it with one, pulling that direction. Again, a lot of it has to do with the turning of the wrist, right? Just using your anatomy. You know, that's one thing, guys, you'll notice if you just practice and turn off your mind the best you can, turn off that internal dialogue as much as you can, and just fart around, just practice. Just think to yourself, what does this do? What does that do? Etc. You're going to find things on your own that no teacher can ever show you, right? And especially when you find something on your own, boy, that's locked into your brain forever. It's a little different than somebody showing it to you. That's kind of the point of the self-taught and the self-taught channel aspect. But I'm here to just show you stuff, right? I'll show you what I know. I am no grandmaster. I'm just like some kind of sort of has-been from the 80s that, you know, decided to get out of the scene and take another direction. Then I came back into it, into the, you know, I left in, what, like 91? I haven't played in front of an audience since 91, I think. Well, no, I did. I played in New York City once in the early 2000s. But other than that, you know, it's me in my bedroom. But, no, actually I have played with a few bands in the past few years because I've been trying to get back into it. But nevertheless, let's get back into it. So, now, let's talk about vibrato. Okay? Vibrato. Boy, it's how much salt and pepper do you like on your food? That's the question about vibrato. Now, you've got people that are absolutely insane with their vibrato, like Zakk Wylde. You know, Zakk Wylde is absolutely crazy with his vibrato. You've got other, take Jimmy Page. He tends to be kind of short and tight with his vibrato. Right? So different players have different styles of vibrato, but one thing is to kind of, maybe possibly, if you want it to be a little more tasteful, I guess, if you want to put it that way, is to probably go no more than a half step in your stretch, right? And try to stay in tempo with the song. So if you have a song that's in 4/4, 1, 2, 3, 4, then you're going to probably double it or triple it, right, with your vibrato. But, you know, again, there are no hard and fast rules, man. And again, this is rock and roll. If there are any rules, the first thing we're going to do is break them, right? So maybe somebody else can tell you something different, and that's fine. That's cool. But I'm just showing you how I do it. Okay, again, now, how about double string vibrato or stretch? Or you call that a double stop, whatever. Okay, same thing. I pull in this direction. Again, your hand is stronger in that direction. But again, there are times you have no choice but to go up in that direction. You've got to build that kind of hand strength to push that up. And again, that's another thing where you're going to use that wrist. Use your wrist. Use the anatomy of your body. It'll help you in a lot of things, not just guitar playing, right? So again, guys, you know, vary your vibrato. Now, once you've consciously practiced this stuff, constantly practicing, making an effort to do that, then do yourself a favor as best as you can and just try to relax. Try not to pay any attention to it and try not to think about it. One of the worst things that I think, again, this is just my opinion, that we can do while we're playing is think about what we're doing when we're trying to kind of jam. Not when we're trying to learn it and get it down. That's a different situation. But when we're just kind of free-forming. You know, try not to think about, oh, I need to put this kind of lick there. Just let it kind of free flow if it does. You're going to screw up all over the place. You're going to screw up far more than you're going to do well. But just keep doing it. And your fingers are going to start finding the places to go to. Just like with the depth of your stretch. You're going to find out, your fingers will tell you how far a whole step stretch is, or a half step. Your fingers will tell you, right? Your body, your ears will tell you. Now, what's the point of the vibrato and that sort of thing? It's, in my opinion, it is merely to keep the listener's ear occupied, right? So it keeps your ear with a nice, pleasant, you know, little thing going. It keeps your attention. Where's that thing going? Right? Where are they going next with that thing? So that's part of the point of vibrato, in my opinion. And the stretching, too, gets the attention of the listener. and that's kind of like a hook type of thing. So again, practice it all kinds of different ways, guys. Again, as far as I'm concerned, there are no rules. Try stretching this way, that way, try stretching this way. Do it with your different strings, go all over the place. Stretch in combination. Tremolo, grab strings, grab 2 strings at a time. And try vibrato that way, or just try stretching. You know, there's all kinds of different things you can do. Mess with it, teach yourself. Remember, this is the channel for the self-taught. Alright guys, I really sincerely hope this helped. Let us know in the comments. Please share and like this video. We really appreciate the thumbs up, guys. So, alright, we'll see you next video.